as you can see up in the top left corner of the screen, today we're going to be playing some Geoguessr. Now, in case you don't know what Geoguessr is, I will briefly explain it to you before we hop right in. Basically, Geoguessr is a geography-based game where you are sort of dropped into a random location on Google Street View, and then you have to guess where you are. However, the catch is that the game doesn't give you any direct clues about the location, so you have to rely on the subtle details you can find, like road signs, landscaping, architecture, things of that nature to try and figure it out. So, basically it's all about just kind of exploring and using your educational skills to make an educated guess. That being said, each round gives you a different location, and you just kind of get to place a marker on the world map where you think you are. The way that the point system works is, of course, the closer you are to the actual location, the higher you are scored. Now, with that introduction out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and hop right into it, so go ahead and sit back, relax, pop in some headphones, or not if you prefer, and let's go ahead and take a look at some Geoguessr. So I'm going to go ahead and do single player here, and I'm just going to do a classic map. Now, I am a bit new to Geoguessr, so I've been playing just the United States maps because that's where I'm from, so I feel I have the best chances there. Excuse me. However, I definitely would like to take a look at some other places in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and load into the United States map. And you can see my best score was 20,000 with a max, or I'm sorry, not 20,000 exactly, 19,467 with a max score of 25,000 if you are right on the money every time. Now, down here you can change whether you can move or not, if there's a time limit, anything like that, but since we are trying to chill out and relax and get ready for bed here, I'm just going to go ahead and do no time limit. And as I click play, we will load in to our very first spot here. Now, I think that music is probably way loud, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that down. I apologize for that. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our surroundings here. So I can see that we're definitely going to be somewhere more rural. We've actually got a nice roadside creek over here to the right. Honestly, a very beautiful landscape. I'm a big fan of the South myself. Well, I don't know if I should go around saying that these days, but I'm from the South, I'll put it that way, so I've got some nostalgia for views like this now that I'm living in a bigger city. Let me know if you guys can relate to that, the big city move and such. But right now, as I'm looking around, I'm just trying to get a grasp of the landscaping. I see we've got a rather flat environment, some rolling hills perhaps, nice green grass, a lot of barns, a lot of farmland. Could potentially be somewhere like Georgia, something like that. Not really giving Florida, and if it was Georgia, honestly, I'm thinking I'd start to see some palm trees perhaps. But we are kind of just on this back road at the moment without much to look at, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep on keeping on here until we can find something a bit notable. Got a gorgeous house up here, nice big front yard, nice paved driveway. Beautiful, beautiful. Definitely in an area with some well-off finances, I would say. This creek is honestly really doing it for me. I really like that. Now, I don't want to take too long, since as you can see in the top right here, there are 5 rounds, and I don't want this video to be like 2 hours Obviously, I'm not the quickest Geoguessr player. I really like to take my time, get a nice feeling for what's going on here. I'm just in love with this whole thing. Having a nice little bridge right here to get into your driveway. Gorgeous. Now I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm not entirely sure what to do in Geoguessr when you get put somewhere like this, with lots of back roads, without much civilization to go off of besides these residences. Nice big American flag in the front yard, so somewhere with some American pride. Again, reinforcing the idea of the South. Now, that being said, I really don't have much else to go off of besides that we are in a rural area. So, your guess is as good as mine at this current moment. Let's see if we get up here, if we can see anything at this bend. Got a single lane road. Happy Hollow Road to be exact. Happy Hollow Road. Happy Hollow, Happy Hollow. Now this is something that we can kind of go off of here. We've got some traffic lights that we can see, and they are single bulb, which I don't get around much, to be honest, but these aren't what the traffic lights around where I'm from look like. So that's enough to have me fully reconsidering. Oh, this is a good clue, though. It is somewhere with snow. So it's definitely somewhere temperate. A bit colder, so now I'm thinking maybe somewhere up north, like Kentucky. Nice big American flag, maybe West Virginia. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see. If we take a look down this way, if we can find anything else to go off of. Looks like we've got Victoria Place. Victoria Place. Some nice big houses. We've got a 2-car garage underneath. Sick. Got a nice boat over here. Okay, okay. Alright, well, I'm not sure how much better I'm gonna be able to do here, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock in somewhere nice and rural in Kentucky, based around a river, since we know there was water not far from where we were. Let's go ahead and go Beaver Creek, perhaps. And I'll just go ahead and pop us down somewhere like here. Go ahead and guess. And okay. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. Tennessee, right outside of Nashville, is where we were. So, all things considered, I did not even get the state correctly, but I did get the region, which I'm pretty happy about. Again, not claiming to be a Rainbolt clone or anything like that. Those who know. But, yeah, you know what, I'll take that for a round one. If I break my previous record of right at 20,000 roundabouts, I will be quite happy with this. So, let's go ahead and move right on through to the next location. And here, we are immediately met with something much different from we just saw. Looks like we might even have potentially a tornado or a thunderstorm or something coming down. But, based off the way these houses are looking, I'm not going to assume we are anywhere on the East Coast. This architecture looks very... No storm. Sorry, that threw me off. No more storms, I guess. The roof style and just the shape of these upper levels of the house, excuse me, the houses, are not telling me that this is East Coast at all. Let me go ahead and see if I can get us on some sort of main road guess this could be Florida, could it not? See, but I've been to Florida plenty of times, and I see a lot more cottage, condo-style housing. I will say I'm a huge fan of this neighborhood that I'm seeing. This looks beautiful. And it looks like we are just in some sort of giant subdivision. So, as awesome as that is, I am going to try my damnedest to get us somewhere with a bit more of a clue. Looks like some big magnolia trees, maybe. I probably butchered that, but, it is what it is, you know. Now, what is this here saying? We've got Windjammer Street and Fair Acres Street. Now, based off the sky, I can't tell if we are somewhere with very high elevation or very flat. So that's throwing me off a bit right now. I am struggling here. And it doesn't look like we are going to be finding any main roads anytime soon. I really did kind of just get trapped in this big subdivision. Got a nice playground here, swing set. Pacific Pearl. Perhaps Pacific Ocean. Could we be in California? I feel like I'd see a lot more mountains with California here, unless we were farther south. Let us continue on, and I'm just gonna click very fast to try and find the way out of this neighborhood. See here, we've got the gated community. People walking down the street. Perhaps he's on his way home from school. Fire fit, my boy, I'm not gonna lie. Big fan of those pants. Shout out if you're seeing this, and you know that's you. Let's see what we've got here. This could be a nice clue. Iglesia Rios, Houston, Texas. So we are in Texas, perhaps right outside of Houston. So I don't think any amount of clicking around is going to be a better clue than that. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe assume it's a bigger subdivision, as I was stuck in it for quite a while. So we've got a church here. I'm gonna go ahead and plop us down in Pasadena and cross my fingers. Okay, not bad at all, guys. That Houston sign was exactly what we were looking for. However, I was wrong with Pasadena. I should have zoomed in a little further. I could have told you I wasn't near a Walmart. But just a hop and a skip away on the 610. And we would be over where we actually were. Over in Crescent Park Village. And as we can see here, some of these housing areas that we were in. Very nice. 23 miles from the location. When you have all of the United States to span, I am very happy with a 23-mile deficit. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right back in to the third map here. Now this is definitely giving familiar to me, which is always going to be my first guess. First thing I look out for. Got a nice neighborhood basketball hoop for some pickup games with your friends. Very nice. It's a beautiful division as well. Look at all these plants outside. The upkeep for this must be insane. Very nice. But once again, we are just stuck in a residential area here, which is not my favorite, but we've got my favorite tree of all time, a nice weeping willow right in front of us. Very strong looking tree here. Of course, the license plates are blurred out since this would be dead giveaways. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on this way. This is a very nice house. I love this brick. Okay. It is Geoguessr. Figure out where you're at. Don't just admire the architecture the whole time. Bear with me, guys. I apologize. Looking for anything that we can go off of. See what I did there? Anything. That's me. Big water tower. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, don't ask. Because I don't either. Okay. Let's see if we can find something based off of what we've got here. At the very least, we know the sun is shining very bright, so we know we're under the sun. Great clue. This house is very funky. Love those. Man, I'm doing it again. Okay, lock in. Goodness. The shrubbery is real. But it looks like we might have finally found what I wanted here. Definitely in a bigger city. We've got a building by the name of Arsiform. Some cool graffiti over there. Big fan of graffiti. Interstate Flooring Company. Westerner Motel. I don't want to read too far into that, but could that mean we're on the west? Definitely somewhere with a nice trolley system, so very far from where I'm from. I wish we could have public transport like that. So I'm thinking this is definitely a larger city, but not necessarily a capital city. So what we've got here, we've got the Happy House Chinese restaurant and lounge. Well, alright. What is this? North Point. Probably an apartment complex. I'm not going to waste too much more of our time here on this map because your guess is going to be as good as mine. Once again, really not performing super well here. But maybe we'll get lucky and we'll be able to see a highway sign or something coming up. See that we've got a bridge overpass overlooking. Well, we are now underneath, but that is a-okay because we can see that we are near St. Helens. St. Helens and Beaverton. Beaverton and St. Helens, I believe, are both in Oregon. And we've got this very large cityscape ahead of us, which I can only assume is Portland. And we've got Beaverton here as well. So, with that being said, we know that Beaverton and St. Helens were going to be west of where we are. So, Beaverton there. To the west, Portland skyline there. So I'm going to assume our original by the way, I did not clarify that. Your guessing point is going to be where you spawned in at, not where you are currently at after all of the moving. But I believe that we're going to be right outside of Portland, with Beaverton to the west, so... let's go somewhere like... that's not really looking too good. Let's just go here. Okay, we're getting better, we're getting better. 8.1 miles away from where I guessed. It was right outside that Tryon Creek State Natural Area. Or, no, I apologize, it was just north of Portland, so we were actually coming south, looking at the skyline from this direction of those big skyscrapers, but that Beaverton guess was very, very helpful, and I am lucky enough to have known a little bit about the state of Oregon. That one was definitely a score booster, almost a perfect 5,000 there. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and keep on keeping on here. Now this is America, baby. This is it. Spawned on a 2-lane highway with a immediate road sign north of us. West Point and Tupelo, West Point. That sounds wildly familiar, but I can't remember. Nice large Dollar General. Like I said, this is America, baby. Now, I'm not gonna look it up, obviously, because that defeats the entire purpose of the game. But I know I'm gonna get crucified for not being able to remember that. Hopefully I'll find something else here that can help me out, but right now I would definitely guess we are somewhere in this region. However, I'm not seeing much mountain, which always confuses me. But again, I don't claim to be a world traveler. It's actually a good reason why I bought a subscription to this game, so that I could play it more and just kind of familiarize myself a bit more. But I mean, this site right here, this is the America that I know. Nothing for miles and miles and miles, just nothing. Very cool, very cool. Business in Columbus. Okay, so again, the billboard could just be anywhere. They could be advertising anywhere, but Columbus is going to be Ohio. And I know for a fact we are not near Cleveland, Akron, Columbus even, Cincinnati, Dayton. We are somewhere much more rural, not as developed. That is not where I meant to guess. Ignore that for now. I'm gonna guess that we are somewhere down here. Nice 2-lane highway. Check this out. Boom. Well. I didn't even guess in Ohio. I rushed that one. That might have just cost me the score there. We were in Mississippi. Mississippi. You can't win them all, folks. You really cannot win them all. So, I'm a little upset about that one. That might have just busted my chance of getting a decent score. But we move on. We don't let it bother us. We don't let it get us down. Because immediately we are shown one of the most beautiful landscapes in the United States. We are somewhere very high up with a nice observation deck outlooking I've never been to Hawaii, however my partner has, with nothing but amazing stories to tell. Let's click around a little bit, but I can't tell you many places that look like this in the United States. Is that Kelakomo? Kelakomo. High sulfur dioxide area. Keep windows closed. Stay in car. Bad news for these folks here. Perhaps they couldn't read the sign. Now, I think that we might be in Hawaii. Just based off never have seen anything like this before in my lifetime. And I would say this is definitely going to be one of the smaller islands, not one of the huge touristy islands. Perhaps we are somewhere around here. Let's take a look at one of the other smaller islands. We've got okay. Let's look around a bit more for some clues before we lock in a random Hawaiian island. Is this volcanic? Is that what this is? Very interesting. I am wowed by what I am seeing, just simply because I have never seen anything like this before. I also can't tell if this is the ocean or sky. No, this is definitely the ocean. Okay, we've got some waves crashing in here. So I definitely think this is going to be Hawaii, just based off this coastline we're seeing. Now, if that's the case, also I have to get this within like 30 miles to break my record. So, yikes. Let's see what we can come up with here. Hope you guys are doing well, nice and relaxed, and have enjoyed exploring the United States with me via Google Street View. I don't really know what I'm looking for here. I'm pretty confident. Oh, let's go back there. What did that say? Alonia. No, sorry. I'm not even gonna try, guys. Alona. Kahakai. 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 Now, I know that this is one of the more touristy islands, isn't it? Let's just go ahead and zoom in, see if we can see anything that speaks to us like it could be where we're at. Just by going around the coast, looking for Kahakai, Kahakaloa, Hanakawai, Walawalu. I really don't want to mess this one up because this is going to break our record if we can nail it. I think that it could be this island here, just based off it being rather small. But I don't see all of this civilization like they've got it. Let's go ahead and just click quite a few times and see if we can get down this road and find anything else that might help us. What a beautiful drive this would be. I would absolutely love to hop in my car and throw some nice music on and just cruise down this nice ocean view on the right hand side. Now unfortunately guys, I don't know if we're going to get any better hints, at least for me. If there are any Hawaiian natives watching, pronunciation mishaps. I'm bound to make them, I am sure, but my apology is heartfelt and genuine. And, I'm sorry if anybody watching expected some pro-level gameplay. I am simply a fan of the game and a fan of looking around. Anybody else fans of looking around? You feel me? So, I'm going to go ahead and lock in my gut feeling with Hawaii. And my feeling is that this is a very, very, very small island because of the sheer amount of coast you can see from this simple road. You can almost see it curving back around over here. So if we zoom out on Hawaii here, and we look for the smallest islands, this would technically be the smallest, huh? I don't think we're quite here, because I don't even see any roads on the map there. So the next smallest would be over here. And I think this might be closer to where we're at. So let's go ahead and find a nice coastal road. And lock that in. Close, 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 but no cigar. Here we are. I was correct about Hawaii, which I am happy about, but again, not a whole lot of places in the United States that look like that, so. That being said, how did we do with the final results? I don't think we quite broke our record this time, but that's okay. There is always next time. See how we did. Just short